Welcome back to another historical teaching little lesson with Selena. So today we are going to be discussing the man, the myth, and the legend, Thomas Jefferson. Let's go. Let's dive in.
Ooh, I'm about to dive in.
Okay, let's start off with this little map right here, because you can't learn history without a map. Okay, so this map here, to the whatever side of me that you're looking at this on, this map. At the top, we have New Hampshire and all those beautiful, beautiful orange states. Just kidding, because those orange states are, of course, John Adams. Now, the election at the time, the main competitors of the election of 1800, by the way, that's what it was called. Some people also refer to it as like a war because of how hard fought the battle was, but I like to just call it the election, like a normal person. So the orange represents John Adams and the green represents the states that were all for Thomas Jefferson. As you can see, there's a bunch of green states, meaning everybody loves Thomas Jefferson. So yeah, everyone loves Thomas Jefferson, so that bumps John Adams right out of the election. Pow, you know what I mean? And now you would think that Thomas Jefferson would have the lead. But let's use a modern day comparison. In the election that just happened, what was it, last year, 2016 election? Who cares? It was so last year. The election that happened last year, there was the two main competitors, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and then there was Bernie Sanders, which, I mean, he still had some supporters, but everyone just really was like into who was gonna win, like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, like both kill me, you know what I mean? But let's not forget Bernie Sanders. He was, you know, a competitor, but he wasn't like the main competitor. So Aaron Burr was kind of like Bernie Sanders, except he got tied with Thomas Jefferson for the role of president. What happened between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr? I know you guys are dying to know, so let me just tell you real quick. So let me just rewind a bit. This ballot is different than today's ballot. Like, the votes for the vice president and president weren't separate. They were just smushed onto one little ballot. So you wouldn't vote for like Elmo on a separate ballot, and then you wouldn't vote for Big Bird on this other ballot. Big Bird and Elmo would be on the same ballot, and then whoever got the most votes would become the president of the US of A. Although John Adams was the main competitor of Thomas Jefferson, this does not mean that Aaron Burr is non-existent. Aaron Burr was a thing. So Aaron Burr and Thomas Jefferson got tied for the electoral votes. This has to be taken to the House of Representatives to create or to cast new votes to determine who will be the president, essentially. There was a bunch of votings that had to take place, a bunch of like revotes that had to be done in order to determine who that would win the election. But our friend Alexander Hamilton comes in and he gives his support to Thomas Jefferson so that the people in the House of Representatives sees that this Federalist is giving his support to this Democratic Republican, and then they can cast their vote for Thomas Jefferson because they believe that Alexander Hamilton, he's the main leader due to the Federalists. So if he gives Thomas Jefferson his approval, then they can just go ahead and vote for Thomas Jefferson. Alexander Hamilton gives his support to Thomas Jefferson. House of Representatives vote, and Thomas Jefferson wins the election. Why did Alexander Hamilton give his approval to Thomas Jefferson, a Democratic Republican, instead of a Federalist like Aaron Burr? Oh, thank you for asking. Like, I'll tell you. No problem, girlie. Alexander Hamilton really hated Aaron Burr. Like, he did not trust him. Aaron Burr, not trusted. Nuh-uh, he's a snake, okay? Gotta get rid of those. So he's like, honey, like, I will not have a snake win the presidential election, okay? Like, Thomas Jefferson, I trust you. I feel like I'm okay leaving you to be the president. And unfortunately, our bestie, homeboy Alexander Hamilton had to take one for the team, because he ended up dying by Aaron Burr's hand when they were in a duel. And you know, a duel when they like take 10 steps this away from each other, and then like on a certain number they like turn around and shoot, and whoever lives and whoever dies, well, maybe next time, buddy. To wrap up this video, we're going to conclude with a few of the changes that Thomas Jefferson wanted to do and everything. So his plan was to downsize the government, downsize the army, pay off government debt, and get rid of it all internal taxes, which, woo, I hate taxes. Taxes are the worst thing alive. Also, taxes on whiskey was repealed. Good for those people who love to drink a little bit of whiskey now and then. So on top of all of that, he also wanted to get Indians out of Mississippi. He didn't want them to be taking up land that they could be using, because land is everything to this dude. Like, he loves the lifestyle of a farmer. Like, that farming is the most important thing to Thomas Jefferson. Okay, guys, so now you know everything about Thomas Jefferson. Oh, don't forget the fact that he's a racist slave owner. Now you know everything you need to know about Thomas Jefferson, including the fact that he is a slave owner and that he was also one of the smartest men in our history. So let's take it back to present day Selena.